you can be in charge of refreshments, right? So they just dropped the
saying we want to be in charge of our own resources. Now, Julie, you've already given us an
I want to be in charge of how this goes down, right? So luckily, there's great options.
It helped them be in charge of their lives.
And as LB 216, which is one of the things you're referring
in the industries they used to be in charge of. Right. Is that?
That's why. And so they hired Michael Taylor to be in charge of policy at the FDA. Michael Taylor was Monsanto's
of age who happens to be the, in charge of the surgical volunteer at the.
I don't believe anyone should be in charge of your health insurance decisions but you and your doctor.
Back in this state so we can be in charge of many of these programs.
Same people that cash the royalties checks be in charge of the safety inspections.
That I want to be in charge of this process, and they will go to the courthouse and come with my will and basically say,
to be in charge of all the affairs of the province of Babylon, while Daniel
Arts Endowment was, if you can believe it, to be in charge of, in the George H.W. Bush administration, of the Defense Department.
Do the work, Libby was supposed to be in charge of the domestic affairs. That's the narrow slice of authority.
On this, I'm going to be in charge of creating the strategy for that and the programming for it. So,
To empower them so that they can be in charge of their own health. Because part of our goal here.
Sometimes it does. The idea that we should all be in charge of deciding our own fate certainly is more conducive to promoting.
I used to not know this so well, and I didn't know what I was supposed to be in charge of. And when I figured out
our king. The older you get, the less you want to be in charge of things. And I just want him to be in charge.
Therefore, as General Wainwright said, you need to be in charge of your camp.
Forever and ever. So who's going to possess the kingdom, be in charge of the kingdom, rule the kingdom, responsible for the kingdom?
And that means he is going to be in charge of one thing: looking out for the best interest.
We felt that it would be more useful for the musical director to be able to be in charge of the evening and to have all the actors in view.
You're going to be in charge of this. And thank you also for joining us today. I'm Carol Jenkins.
My history by not allowing me and my community to be in charge of our schools. And this relates to state chief someday. If you get to be in charge of a state, if you were in charge of a state right now.
Because I had to be in charge of 4 or 5 different roles. And I needed that. If I didn't have that, then I wouldn't be.
Years. There's no reason that I should be in charge of an athletic department building Maple.
This is powerful stuff, and you already have that skill. You now be in charge of it, and don't go through that crummy delay.
To be in the workplace, but if they had to be,